family had given up on me. The community wanted to kill me because they knew that I was good for nothing. And it is at that point that I realized I needed to make a decision. I've been in addiction for 25 years, and I used to inject heroin, I used to take marijuana, I used to be an alcoholic, I used to take prescription pills, I used to take any kind of drug that is available in the street. I was suicidal because I knew that a majority of my friends were dead, and wherever I would walk in the streets, I would remember another person being killed there. Many were burned with tires around their waists. Others were beaten up and killed, and this was traumatizing me. I went to a friend of mine who is a pastor in Homa Bay, and I stayed there for 4 months. So during these 4 months, I used to sit under a tree and just meditate my life, and did a soul-searching experience of my life, and I'm happy because that was my turning point. We needed to be that voice that would speak for the people who are currently going through mental health related issues. So that is when we sat down and thought of how to do our awareness, advocacy, and sensitization of our community.
Life was so hard at home. I had to run away and live in the streets with my friends. That's when I started indulging in drugs. We would also go drinking in bars. At times, we had to become sex workers in order to get money to get by and also cater for my son back home.
Here in Kibera, if you're using drugs, you can have many friends, because many people, they abuse drugs. They are smokers, people who use cat, people who use... so if you use cat, you have friends from those that are using cat. If you use cigarette, you get friends. If you use weed, you also get... So I have 3 categories of friends. Friends from weed, cat, and cigarette.
Here in Kenya, a lot of people cannot have mental health care because they have to pay, and they cannot. So that means that the kids are not going to pay, going to eat for the next 2 weeks. Yeah, one thing they're doing wrong is that in Norway they will say if you call a psychologist, they will say come to me in 10 weeks. And if you're in trouble, it's obvious that waiting 10 weeks is not going to happen, right? Then it's 10 weeks with the problem getting worse, and then you have 10 weeks preparing for talking about problems, and that's not what you need. What you need is a better focus to get rid of it, especially depression. It's just shift the focus, depression will go away. If you have it for 10 weeks, it's just going to get worse. So that's also one thing. Another thing is that when you're like a patient, you're being introduced to one therapist. And especially if you're really messed up, it's like 5% chance there'll be trust between one random person and that patient. And that's obviously the wrong way to do it. So I'm sure we can do it much better.
The World Health Organization states that people with mental health conditions often experience human rights violation, discrimination, and stigma. Well, Akili Bomba Wellness Sanctuary, which is in Kibera, which is the largest slum in Africa, promotes psychosocial support and therapy as it seeks to end problems related to mental health issues.